I am going to add new sticks and buttons. I'm waiting on the buttons, but in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and just get some footage of the system. Is that when you're going to remove the control panel, you're going to take out these, unscrew the screws from here, from these 3 spots right here on both sides. So it's 1, 2, 3. The important thing is, don't use like a screwdriver to take out these screw caps, because, you can screw up the panel, the paint, the vinyl, whatever the hell it is. So yeah, you're just gonna unscrew those 3 screws, and you're gonna do the same thing on the opposite end. All right, so once you've removed the screws from both sides, it should be relatively easy to get the panel off, but it's resting on some wood. Like there's like some wood stands or like support spots right there. See? So you can kind of like slide it down a little bit. You don't want to pull it out completely because there is a little ribbon cable that you're gonna have to remove. So right there, that's attached to the control panel. But it is, it's pretty long, so it's not going to be like you got room to play with. Other videos have kind of mentioned that if you have big hands, you might have a hard time, but I mean, there's still room for me to pull it out even more. So it should give you plenty of space to get rid of that cable. The other thing about this too, I just want to mention too, that it doesn't, it's not snapped in. So all you really have to do is just kind of hold it on both sides and just pull up. Just kind of wiggle it and slide it up, and that's it. So it doesn't snap into place or anything like that. And once you've removed the panel, you can see you have access to everything now. Obviously the sticks, the buttons. The cool thing is that the buttons are color coded. So even when you get, like these right here, these are going to be the replacement harnesses. I'm making sure that it's the right shit. Yeah, it should be. So the tip has been to just kind of like, do one button at a time so that you can trace where the wires go. Because I mean, like as far as this wire harness, they're all going to look the same. So I do have 12 of those. The buttons I'm waiting on, the sticks are right here. The main issue with replacing the sticks on here is this side right here, which is, what is this, player 1? Because of the speaker. You see how tight that is. Even with this is the original stick. You can kind of see that's already pretty close, so that you're not going to have a lot of room to play with your stick options. So you have to make sure to get something that's going to work. But yeah, the other thing that's interesting too, and I don't know if I'm going to run into issues, and I'll document everything as I go through it. But what's going to be different is if you notice, like all the directions here are wired to the stick, and then they come up to right here, right? So this stick, it's kind of cool. The Sanwa, it's got a 5-pin cable here that's basically for all the directions. And then it's got the cable that I ordered with it has the double out. The trick is going to be whether or not it's wired correctly. The cool thing is that this is labeled, I think, the up and down right here. So there's up and down, and then this will be obviously left and right. So here that's player 1, who gives a shit, down, up. And that's player 1, right, left, okay? And then over here on this side, you pretty much have the same thing, but it'll be player 2. See if I can get focused. Yeah, player 2, right, left, player 2, down, up, okay? The other thing is that it's been mentioned is the glue. So you can see all this this sap-looking shit that's here. So the glue is something that has been mentioned you're going to have to take off or whatever. So what I'm going to do is get a hair dryer to kind of soften it up, and then hopefully I'll just be able to peel it off. The buttons have some glue in there too. So we'll have to just kind of loosen that up just to make it easier to take off everything. The other thing I wanted to just kind of show is that the glue seems to just be on one side. So if you look, it's over here on this side. It's very obvious. But then if you look on the back side, let's see if I can focus. Yeah, the cool thing is it doesn't seem to have anything on the back side. So at least you don't have to worry about that. The buttons, however, they're not, or at least these right here aren't on the top side of the right there. See, so the glue's not here on the top side like it is up here. The glue is gonna be here on the bottom side. But I am gonna try with a toothpick, like as it softens up, or if I do happen to soften it up, I use a toothpick. Where's it down? Oh, here it is. So I'm gonna use a toothpick to try and like see if it'll. Damn shit. Focusing sucks. Okay, if I can kind of like pluck it off with a toothpick. So I did one side, and you can tell it came off nice and easy. I did use the hair dryer here. I'm gonna try peeling this stuff off without the heat to see if it's any if it makes a difference. And here's the player one side done. The top part. I haven't gone on the bottom yet. So I did end up using a really I guess electronic screwdriver. Or, can you see it? It's very, oh, there we go. Very small, very thin. And I did end up taking off the audio cable from here, just because I didn't want to screw it up. Like if I jerked it up and I pulled the cable, but yeah, that really helped, just kind of digging in, pulling up, digging in, pulling up. And then you ended up with a nice pile of goo. So I'm just gonna do the same thing. And I would recommend the hair dryer. It does make life a lot easier. It just does soften it up, and it's easier to pull off. So the fun part's gonna be back here, getting to those. So that worked. Again, don't use a toothpick, use something really small. Tweezers, just something that you can pluck, pluck and pull, pinch and pull. Once you pinch it up high enough, you can use your fingers and it kind of does start to peel off on its own. The other thing I noticed too is that you can kind of see how the glue was applied. And if you go the opposite direction, so like, the fatter glob is usually the beginning and then it thins out because I think they just ran across. So if you start on the tail end and then after you soften it up, it'll start to kind of peel all off on its own, like all together. But if it doesn't, it's not that big a deal. All right, so for this one, I just did the whole pluck and pull thing and it worked out. So perhaps heat on the components is not recommended. So, maybe take that little extra time. Hopefully I didn't screw anything up, but just thinking about it, maybe it's not such a great idea to use a hair dryer, especially if you have a Infinity Pro, because that's a hot motherfucker. But yeah, man, I mean, just I guess the safest route is to not use a hair dryer and just kind of go through the the pain in the ass of just, plucking and pulling the stuff off. It comes off easily enough, I suppose. So don't use a hair dryer. I mean, you can, but it's probably not recommended, right? I'm not an electronics pro. I don't know about all this crap. That's why I'm doing this video, is for those of you out there that, are kind of scared to screw around with these types of things and you don't want to mess up your, your system and all that. Hopefully I can try to make it seem as easy as possible. If it's hard as hell, if I have a hard time, I'll tell you that too. But this is just, I'm just documenting as I go along, because I am a little concerned about the wiring, that it's not going to match up with the way the system's wired up. So, but we'll see. Hopefully it's plug and play, easy as pie, but usually it doesn't work out that way for me, but we shall see. So when you get to wiring or rewiring your sticks, buttons, I mean, if you notice, at least, well, I imagine all of them are going to be like this, but they're like kind of twist tied together, like in a bunch. You will have to remove this to kind of clear things out. Well, hell, maybe not. I don't know. Yeah, you will, because like this cable is necessary and it's all part of that bundle. So, so you might need like a pair of, what the hell are these called? Pliers? No, pinchers. Are they pliers? I don't know. So something to cut this thing. All right, so the other thing that's been bugging me is this whole plug and play wiring type thing. I've read that the so you know, one individual said that they had to rewire the connector. Another individual says they didn't remember having to rewire anything or mess with anything. So before I got started with anything, I just wanted to wire up player 1 controllers, and so it doesn't go left, it only goes right. And it doesn't go up or down. So yeah, I'm gonna have to fucking rewire shit. God dang it. All right, so these sticks, I ordered the 4-wire double harness. So if you notice on the actual stick itself, it's got an actual wiring, just a connector port here. Instead of having wires to all the different directions, it's all right here. So that's easy. The part that's not easy is that the way the wire harness comes stock, it's not ready to just plug into your Mvsx. So I've already changed something that you know, if you order this, you'll have to do. So originally the ground wire was on this connector, like here next to the orange. And if you look at just so you know that there's four holes there. So the ground was originally here. The other thing we need to do is I need to shift the orange and red up a hole. So orange is going to go there and red's going to go up to the next one to the right in order for it to be correct. Yeah. So I'm going to show you how I've done this. So now toothpick actually does work for this. If you look at the way this is, the wire kind of like snaps into place right in there. So what I'm going to do is just apply a little pressure to that pin just to release the wire. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to shift the orange one up a hole and the red down or up or whatever. So basically these two are going to go up to the next notches. I'm going to try and do it on camera just so I can demonstrate kind of how it's done or how I've done it. So you kind of stick your toothpick in there, apply a little bit of pressure and kind of push a little bit. And it doesn't work. Let me see. I'm not going to look at the camera, so hopefully I'm still on screen. So apply a little bit of pressure and push. And your toothpick needs to be, you know, pretty new, because after doing this a while, it gets kind of dull and it's a little bit more challenging. There it goes. Took a while, sorry, but so you're just basically loosening it up so it can detach. And then I'm just going to move it up another notch and it does snap into place. So I'm going to do the same thing to the red. Hopefully this one will be a little easier. It's actually easier if you do it on your lap, but yeah, that was it right there. So you just take it out, move it up a notch, and it snaps into place, and now it's snug again. All right. So the way the connector plugs into the Mvsx, it's with these little grooves right here. It's this side in like that. It plugs in this way. And then you have, you know, your down up, and it's labeled, your wire's labeled, so down up is here. And then left and right is this one. Cool thing is that the Mvsx actually is labeled also. There's a section, I think I showed that earlier, where you can tell, you know, which one's down and up. So when it plugs in, this is kind of how your wiring should look. So if you look, let me see, hold on. Oops, wrong one. Here it goes, this way. Yeah, because this is the part that's going to connect, and that's the part that's going to connect, so they're going to go like this. So basically on your down up, it should be green skip, yellow ground, and then your left and right is orange skip, red skip, right? So you'll need to do that. And it's not gonna come out of the box ready to go like this, but this will save you tons of time just knowing this, because it took me a while before I finally got a response on the Reddit. I was going through all sorts of combinations, and the next step was for me to move the ground wire to this side. But again, I mean, I don't know how long that would have taken. The hardest thing that you're gonna encounter with this is accessing those screws to the player one. Is it player one? Shit, I don't even know. Yeah, player one stick, because of how tight the speaker is to the stick. So the screwdriver that I've been using, I tried like a shorter one, but obviously that's not the right move. I've been using this one for the Mvsx, just for the outside screws, and that's been working out pretty good. So if you have like a long screwdriver, or you know, a Phillips head that has like a long shaft, that's probably your best bet. I ended up using, you know, a flathead that's long, just so that I can get in there. And once you're in there, then it'll be, you can unscrew it. But yeah, that's the only thing. The cool thing is it's not, you're not screwing like directly into the wood. So there's, you know, metal, what are they called? Shit, I don't know. Those damn things right there. So they'll be there for you to just, so I don't think you have to worry about, you know, stripping the hole or having issues. So that's a good thing that they did that. But yeah, I just wanted to show you that. Yet another tool that you'll probably need is a long Phillips head screwdriver. All right, so I removed the stick from the Mvsx. But we are going to use the screws. Make sure to save the screws that were used to mount the stick onto the Mvsx, because that's going to be important. The stick itself will fit in that space. Let me see if I can get it in there. All right, this is up, so yeah. All right, so so this is the original, this is the mounting plate that came with the stick, and the holes align nicely, so you just got to screw it in. So all 4 holes will actually align to it. So you're not going to use the original mounting plate, or the mounting plate that came with the Mvsx, because it won't fit the stick. But the mounting plate that it comes with, the stick comes with, will fit in the holes for your Mvsx. So that'll be good. All right, so I got the sticks installed, and I just used the plate that it came with. The wiring we've already kind of taken care of, and I've covered that. So now it's the buttons. The buttons did get here, so let's go. So there they are, the wiring, or the wires for it too. There's the switches. All right, so apparently it's kind of a pain in the ass to take out these buttons, so I'm gonna see. For sure, you're supposed to mess with those little tabs that are there on the top. And there's one on the bottom. So I'm assuming you pinch the tab to release the buttons, but could be hard, I don't know. Might be a little hard to do. You gotta put pressure on both sides, I think. Let's see. So it looks like that's one. Oh, even then. Okay, push this a little bit more in. All right, so that's out. So apparently you do one button at a time. So what I'm gonna do is follow this wire here. Looks like it's still in, it's good. Piece of shit. All right, so let's see. So I just took out the red So we're gonna use a red button and one of these little screw things. This was gonna tighten it onto the panel. Right, so, okay. So it comes through no problem. Wiring it is, I guess, I forget if it's, this is on and common, or I don't know, but these two right here, these are the two that we're gonna wire up. We skipped that one. It's these two. This is the wires, so they all look the same. It's going to be blue and white, but these are the ones that are going to slide into the switches. Okay, that's easier. All right. So what I did was start with the bottom one, pop the bottom tab into the hole, and then slid the top in. It was a lot easier that way. All right, and then on these switches, what did I say? It's this top one and the next one. I guess I'll go white on top, blue on the bottom. It doesn't really matter, but, and I think it slides in like so. Does it go like this? It has to go in this way. Let's do white on top and blue on the bottom. And just slide them in and then plug them. All right, so this is the finished product. As you can see, all the new buttons are there with the switches, and everything should be wired up correctly. So the only thing left to do is just make sure everything's right, testing it out. But yeah, pretty simple. It's just getting like the wiring, getting the wiring correctly for the sticks. So, you know, take a look at that. That's kind of how it should be. And then on the micro switches, just remembering that these two are the ones that you wire. And the easiest way to do it is to start with the lower hole, the notch. Start with that one, and then all you do is just kind of like pull this open a little bit and just start sliding it down, and it'll snap into place. That's the easiest way to to put those in without worrying about screwing them up or them breaking. But yeah, this side's not, it was my first one, so it's a little all out of whack. These look a little nicer, more in line, but yeah, and these are just the wires for the sticks and the buttons. That's it. So we're gonna try it out, make sure it fired up and make sure everything's running right. Hey, so here's everything, you know, the finished product. It's all installed and ready to play. And here's an original with all original buttons. So, I mean, obviously the buttons are clicky. And then the stick. Here the buttons are, I guess, mushy. And the stick. This stick comes with a square gate, so you feel all the corners. And this stick apparently is a round gate because it just goes round and round and round. There's definitely less play with this one. And these sticks have a little bit more play. I mean, I like the way it looks. I like the, you know, the 4 buttons, the layout, and then the black buttons kind of just being hidden to where, you know, you look at it from far away. It's just kind of, it's got that classic Neo Geo layout, you know, so that's cool. I like the little clicky sound. I mean, it does react, you know, so that's cool. They're better sticks and they're better buttons, so it's an easy mod, easy upgrade. Hopefully, you know, you got something out of the video and you'll be able to do it yourself. All right, man. Thanks a lot. Until next time.